Alright, just didn't finish in time there. But now I've got this image, I can move it around and crop it just exactly the way I want. Now I'm ready to go ahead and output these images. And here's a trick about naming these. I'm going to go ahead and call this gallery forward slash and then Cuba.jpg. This one is going to be the bird, so that's going to be gallery forward slash bird.jpg. This will be gallery forward slash I.jpg. Let's see, what is that one? Oh, that's a trout. Gallery forward slash trout.jpg. And I'd say that that's enough images for right now. I'm going to go ahead and save my document and then click on the Generate Image Assets. Now what this is doing is this is automatically creating inside my original, if I go back to my tutorials, it's generated my assets here, and inside has a folder, and there are the images inside that folder. And that is very, very cool that it automatically outputs them into the folder based upon the image name that I give them in Photoshop. So great way of generating all of your gallery images, and of course anytime that you adjust your crops in here, it will then adjust the image, which I think is great. If you ever want to maybe adjust this a different way, a little up, a little down, let me make sure I'm on that particular item. So I want to move the eyes up a little bit closer to the top for some reason. Now when I go back to that gallery image, you'll see it has been changed, and of course I can move that back down. I go back into that folder and it will eventually output that image at the exact crop that I want. So this is a workflow that I think is absolutely essential, and that is that you take everything through Photoshop in order to start to create all the assets that you need for for Adobe Muse. So I'm going to go ahead and close that, and I'll save the documents. I'm not even going to worry about what layers are open because I was just using those to get started. Now back in Muse, what I can do is create a new site, and we're going to create it just like we did before. I'll have the 12 columns. It'll have 60 as our column width. We're going to take our left margin to 10, our right margin to 10. We're going to change that to 0 and 0 for our padding and our margins, and I'm going to click OK. Now I'm going to go into my master page, and I'm going to start to place some of the graphics that I know I'm going to use. For example, I know that I'm going to use, if I go to the Muse site, I know I'm going to use the top bar and the logo, and I might as well bring in a main image for right now, but actually I'll just bring in the top bar and the logo. So just those two are blue. And click OK. Now what that's doing is it's actually loading both images, and now I can just click and it will apply both, and that's it. So now I'm going to bring that up here to the top and then take that one and drag it over there. There. Now I'm going to take this and drag it up to so it basically matches that guy. In fact, you know what would be kind of smart is actually if I took this particular blue box and replaced it with a new blue box. That would actually be much smarter. I'm going to go ahead and grab that, fill, and notice that I can't actually get that thing right now, so I should have been aware of it and moved this down a little bit so that when I do my fill, I can use the eyedropper to pick that color, which I think is great. Now I can pull that back up, and what I might need to do is arrange this to the front so it's in front of that. Oh, it didn't choose that color. Oh, how did I not do that? Supposed to be able to use that, sample that color. Let's see, maybe I need to make a new swatch for that. Once I've got that swatch, then I can apply it, and that would be smarter. Still doesn't look like it's the same color, so we're going to have to troubleshoot that, but not right now. Anyway, I'm going to take that thing and I'm going to make it go all the way across with that. So I know that that particular header image goes all the way across. Now I'm going to copy and paste that, and we're going to put that on the bottom as well. And I'm okay having a little padding before it's there. And let's go ahead and make sure that it has no stroke. Let's make sure that one has no stroke as well. So now we've got a little bit of header and footer. Let's see, I am in the master page, so let me pull that down. There we go. I want my footer to be a little bit wider than my header. So now what we might do is go ahead and do some quick links. Let's do a menu, and that's going to be a horizontal menu. I'm going to go ahead and drag that in right here. It's kind of going to go all the way across that area. Now I'm going to actually remove the fill for this particular thing. So I'm going to go to my different states. Let's make sure I get to my states. And my normal state is not going to have a fill. My rollover state is not going to have a fill. My mouse down state is not going to have a fill. And my active state is not going to have a fill. Now what we're going to do instead, and this is a little bit harder, is I want to get into that text right inside there. That text, and change the color here. So I'm going to change this to yellow. So that's when it's active. The rollover will be yellow. And let's see, let's give it a better font. Lucinda Sans seems to be the one that I'm using right now. Now, I could have used my fonts up here, but when you click on this, for me it jumps over to the right-hand screen. Just remember that. So let's go ahead and close this, go to the home page, and what I want to do is insert that image behind it. So we'll do place, and let's find that main graphic, and I want to put that in here so it goes right there. And that's something to know I did not know about, and that is that it's not going to go behind that image. So let's check this thing real quick. What I want to find out is if there is a way that will always bring that to the front. That would be awesome. Like if there's a property on this thing that we can tell it always be in front of everything else. And I'm not really sure it's going to do that, so that is going to be kind of an issue. Let's try something. If we move this up to a higher level and we lock that layer, maybe other things that, yeah, it does work. Yay! Now what happens is because that's on a layer above this other background layer, it means that it will be on top. That is awesome. Just discovered something in Muse. So now that I've got my main image here, let's see, we also need to go back to the master page because we want this to be on that layer as well. So this is going to be my Z order, and this is going to be, I'm going to call this the top. Or even this, I can call it header, so I know that it's on the top there. Beautiful. I'm going to lock that again, go back to the home page, and you'll see now I've got that little button up on the top, which means that that's actually on top of that picture, and I can drag that up there. It works just perfectly. So now that we've got that, now we can go ahead and start to add our other pages. So I know I'm going to need a specs page, and then I'm going to need another page, and that's going to be gallery. And I'm going to have another one on lenses. And I think that's probably going to be enough. I'm going to put lenses before the other. So let's take a look, and you'll see now I've got the home, specs, lenses, and gallery that are appearing here. Now, it doesn't look beautiful with them all the way laid out, but that's something we can adjust in the next tutorial. So let's go ahead, and of course you can use my graphics if you want, or you can use your own. It's kind of up to you, but this is an exploration in the workflow of Photoshop to Muse, which I think is really important.